Hey, what's up, everybody? Please forgive the drive time video, but I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone today. Got a lot going on, and just really want to make sure I'm getting these videos out because a lot of people have been requesting them and enjoying them. So I want to keep it rolling, even though I've got a lot going on at the moment. But listen, today I want to talk about, real quick, just for about 10 or 15 minutes, I want to talk about the incredible connection between fulfilled Bible prophecy and archaeology. A lot of times you'll hear people, even Christians, say, that the Christian faith is a leap of faith. We had to just take a leap of faith. We have to, almost the connotation that we have to believe in something even though there's no physical evidence for it. Now, for sure, the Bible talks about without faith, it's impossible to please God. There's a lot of things we've never seen. We've never seen Jesus with our own eyes. We've never seen heaven. We've never seen eternity. We've never seen the rapture. You know, all these things that are in our amazing future that God has promised, we haven't seen. So yes, we have to accept those by faith. But the point I'm trying to make is it's faith based on reason. And here's what I mean. For one, fulfilled prophecy is the key apologetic that proves the Bible's from God. Hundreds of prophecies that were given in Scripture have been fulfilled exactly as foretold. So that's God's built-in proof of authenticity, so to speak. It proves that the Bible is from God. It proves that God is a promise keeper and He keeps His word. But also we have other evidences. Archaeology, amazingly, as a bonus, God has given us many archaeological discoveries that verify and vet exactly what the Bible said. There are literally hundreds of them that are really powerfully convincing, but I wanted to highlight just three real quick while I got some time. First, and you may have heard me talk about this before, but the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. Before that, critics used to say that the prophecies of the Bible were made up, that the prophets didn't live at the actual time they lived in. For example, the book of Daniel. There's so many specific fulfilled prophecies in the book of Daniel that critics used to say it had to be written in the 2nd century AD, after most of the stuff that is prophesied occurred, although there's a bunch of end time stuff in the book of Daniel as well. But anyway, critics used to say that because there were a bunch of events that happened in the intertestamental period that were prophesied in the book of Daniel, and also the successive empires of Daniel 1 and Daniel 7. They said obviously nobody could have known those 4 successive empires, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome, would have happened in that order, in the same area, that had to be written after the fact. Well, in 1947, we began discovering the Dead Sea Scrolls, which demonstrated that before 200 BC, the book of Daniel was already a well-ingrained book that was used by the Qumran community of Jewish people. And it had, in other words, it had already long been in existence. What they found from 200, the fragments they found from 200 BC were actually copies of copies. So it was already a firmly established religious document in the Qumran community. So blows that story out of the water. Another really famous one that you don't really hear people talk about that much anymore because it was over 100 years ago, actually almost 200 years ago. But Bible critics used to say that the Hittites were not a real people because the only place that they were mentioned was in the Bible. And critics used this for a long time to try to disprove the Bible, until in 1834, when the capital city of the Hittite Empire was discovered through archaeology, including the capital city library with all kinds of documents and everything. So now you can literally go get a doctorate degree in the Hittite kingdom, which was once something that critics said didn't exist because it was only mentioned in the Bible. Another more recent one, critics used to say that the prophet Isaiah didn't exist, or if he did, it was a pseudo prophet and he wrote his prophecies after the fact, kind of similar to the argument with Daniel, and that he didn't exist during the time of King Hezekiah, who's listed in the Bible. Well, lo and behold, not too long ago, clay tablets were found, or clay impressions were found, showing that said Isaiah and prophet, and also a clay tablet that said King Hezekiah. And they were found 10 feet apart in the same layer, the same timeline, which matches the exact timeline of what we're told in Scripture. So once again, and there's literally hundreds of these that if you do a little investigation, you can find out. Some of them are in process, so they're still trying to vet them and make sure things are true. But the ones that I just brought up are thoroughly vetted, understood, backed up, verifiable archaeological discoveries, and there's many more. There's been all kinds of stuff found at and below and around the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, for example. In Turkey, where so much church history happened, there's so many things that have been found that back up what Scripture says. So this stands in stark contrast with, and not to pick on any people group, but for example, Mormonism, which claims that there was this whole history, ancient history here in America, and there's these ancient seals and all this kind of stuff. There's never been anything found that remotely backs it up. Matter of fact, anything found but does contradict exactly what they said. So what I'm saying is you can't make big, bold claims about facts of history without it somehow being revealed through history, through archaeology, and through other things that kind of collaborate the content. So the Bible can be trusted. The Bible is a historical document. Critics will continue to come at it, and I'm not bashing critics. I think everyone should be a skeptic in the true sense of being a skeptic. Like, let's see what facts actually say. But the question is, are people really open to facts and changing their beliefs if the facts show them something, or do they come to the Bible with preconceived notions that it can't be from God, that is full of error and all this kind of stuff? I got an email the other day from a guy that said there have been proven to be hundreds of prophecies that didn't come true, that were false in the Bible. Big, bold claim, right? So I said, okay, will you please show me one of them? I'd love to know. He couldn't produce one. So my point is, a lot of people make these big, bold claims that they parrot or they've heard other people say, but they don't really know. And they just say it and they accept it without doing the investigation themselves. So if that's you, or if you're just a believer trying to strengthen your faith, check out Fulfilled Bible Prophecy. Check out archaeological discoveries. There are great organizations like ICR, or the Institute for Creation Research, and there's many others as well. You can do your own research. But anyway, check those out. It will strengthen your faith. If you're a true skeptic in the true sense of the word and you're not a believer, please look at the facts, look at the data, and let it at least cause you to consider the fact that the Bible just might be from God, and see where the facts lead you. So anyway, just wanted to share that today. I hope it encourages you, and I hope you are blessed by it. I'll talk to you soon.